So I have a set of questions that I wrote out. I just looked up going deeper with an artist, and I picked some of my few favorites. But if you have more questions that you would like for me to add to this, go ahead and drop them down in the comments below, and I'll go ahead and add the ones that I like, that I feel comfortable answering for now. Again, the questions should go pretty deep. Yeah, I miss going deeper with people. I miss the awkward questions. I've been trying to alter my communication a lot with people to kind of get away from the weather and their day, you know, and if they ask me those questions, I'm trying to go deeper with it and kind of share more. And that's what I'm missing in society right now. So hopefully this space will provide a little more information about that. And a lot of my own work that I do is going deeper. I work primarily with ceramics and with clay, and I am always trying to use that medium. How can I create value in something that holds a lot more deeper meaning? And it's pulled a lot of deeper meaning from me in terms of my own identity exploration and interest, and then also just reconnecting with other people. When you're using it, I want you to feel like there is some meaning and value behind it. And that's essentially what I'm going to be bringing into the space with these questions. Okay, let's get to it. So this is how to define your art style. Well, okay. How do I define my art style? Okay, my work is defined by my cultural identities, so Japanese, Mexican, and Indigenous. And I'm always trying to find like a bridge between these. It's hard though, because I think I tap really a lot into more of my Indigenous side, because I am trying to explore that and be more comfortable with stating that history of my family, because it's just been lost. And so, and I've always just been really connected with Japanese culture, just probably because I don't look like it. And so, growing up, I always honed a lot towards emphasizing that I'm Japanese, again, just because a lot of people see me as Mexican. However, I think that's the side that I am always shying away from in my art, is like my Mexican heritage. And that has a lot to do with like, it's connected with my dad, who I have no idea about. If I were to like shorten this question up a little more, I think I would say that I would define my style as me in a vacuum, but more so like my identities in one. And some people come up to my booth and they'll be like, I don't see the Japanese side. I don't see. Yeah, actually, they say a lot that they don't see the Japanese side. They don't see anything else. Or they'll emphasize, well, I definitely see Indigenous. They'll just emphasize that. And I've tried to make little motifs of my Japanese side, more so, of like the actual item. It's hard to bridge all of these identities together. And that's why I was like, in a vacuum, it would be just me, because I think on a day-to-day basis, sometimes I don't want to show certain identities of mine. And I think anyone can relate. Like if you have an identity of being a teacher, or identity of being a mother, or an identity of being someone who loves Funko Pops or something, that's something you don't always want to showcase, to depending on what space you're in. And or even the day, like sometimes you wake up, you're like, I don't want to be seen as this. And that's okay. I think we're all kind of juggling these identities that we have within ourselves. An identity can be broader than just a cultural identity. And so it's just finding that balance. And I think a lot of my work, I used to be very particular about, oh man, I have to showcase this, or I have to showcase this more, Or how is there all three really being showcased in my efforts? And eventually I was like, if all my pieces were like showcased in an art gallery, then it would definitely be available. Like it would tell a story of all my parts of who I am, more so than other things. More so than just like one individual piece, right? Because and if I have the story there, people can make the connection. I don't need to like say more to it. Well, this is a space that I'm actually saying more to it, but yeah, like I don't have to speak on who I am and what I want to showcase. And the other day, I was actually at a market, and my friend is very good at talking about his work. And I envy how much he is able to say a story about his work. And his archive of art that he displays on his table is enormous. It's so much that you like stay and wander and figure out, okay, well, what is this? What is that? And really take time to explore his stuff. And I think that's so fun. However, I was like talking to him and I was like, I just love how you can like share a story with any piece and you remember all these stories. And I kind of want to adopt that when people come to my booth. And so I'll keep it in mind, like, okay, next person who comes up, I'm going to like share a story. And then they pick up the piece that doesn't really have a story. It's just a design that I felt called to make on the piece, and that's it. And some people will ask me, well, what's the meaning of this and what's the meaning of that? And I'm like, there's really no meaning. It's just a design I came up with. And his response was, what really got me was, well, you don't have to. I mean, I think that your pieces speak for themselves. And I sat with that and I was like, I think that's very true. Like, I don't have to share a story. I guess it's not my strong suit. It's not who I am. And yeah, I agree with that. I think that is very inspiring to know that, yeah, my pieces do speak for themselves and there doesn't need to be a story. And it's interpretive to someone else creating a story for it. Like, I feel like I'm just a vessel. I'm just the medium vessel to transfer whatever this piece needs to say. But right now, this is the piece. This is giving very American. Speaking of American, with the red, white, and blue and stuff, I've been looking up like indigenous artwork, and the depictions of like the American flag or American colors incorporated in their work is very fascinating. It's like an interesting look into like how they interpreted like Western American motifs. And I've been really loving that. I've been really loving this like play on what other cultures see as like American and like their interpretations of it, and I'm not talking about like the literal sense, more talking about like artistically of like people taking American flag and their interpretations of it. And like it was like a new exposure, right? This new like almost like looking up to these people. Lens and wanting to be inspired to create something that's that they found some beauty in. And beauty in the sense of not like the country or what they were doing, but more of like the beauty of the colors and the lines and the design of it. Like, if you look at the American flag, it's very linear, very sharp cuts of things. And it's just kind of neat to see iterations of those and what it looks like from a different lens culturally. Yeah, I think this is the piece. I'll probably add a little glaze to it once it's fired again. Yeah. Thanks for sitting here with me and answering the question of how I define my art style.